Let's take a look at another way to change the sign of the exponent by taking the reciprocal of the base. To understand why this is true, take a look at this example. We have a quotient raised to a power, which means x in the numerator is raised to that power, as well as the value in the denominator raised to that power. When we have a variable with a negative exponent, we can switch that to the other side of the fraction bar to make the exponent positive. So numerator goes to the denominator, making a positive exponent, and likewise we're taking our denominator value, switching it to the numerator to make it positive, and since they're both to the second power, we can express this as y over x, the quotient to the second power. If you look at where we were and where we started, the negative exponent is now gone. We have a exponent of 2, and where that negative went was the reciprocal of that fraction. X over y is now y over x, and eliminating our negative exponent. This leads us to perhaps an easier way than to simplify an expression containing a negative exponent, and it's stated in the following: reciprocals and negative exponents for any non-real numbers a and b raised to the negative n power, where n can be any integer. This is equivalent to b over a to the n power. So this is an option that we have for simplifying quotients that are given to us and illustrating that. Here we have this fraction raised to a negative exponent. So that we don't have to deal with the negative exponent, we can eliminate it right out of the starting box by taking the reciprocal of that fraction. So the numerator becomes the denominator becomes the numerator, and it's raised to the second power. Now, no more negative exponents. We can go ahead and raise this quotient to a power by raising both the numerator to that power and the denominator to that power, and simplifying from there. We have a power raised to a power. We'll multiply exponents. Here we have a product raised to the power. Each one of those is raised to the power of 2. In this example, 3 to the power 2, 3 times 3 is 9. Y to the power 2 is y to the power of 2. In this next one, we have a quotient again raised to a negative exponent. To eliminate that negative exponent, we are going to take the reciprocal of that fraction, which means the numerator becomes the denominator becomes the numerator, and we've eliminated the negative exponent. Now we'll raise this quotient to a power by raising the numerator to that power and the denominator to that power. Multiplying exponents, because we have a power raised to a power using the power rule, this simplifies into y to the 3 times 5 15th power over x to the 2 times 3 or 6th power for simplification of this expression.